Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Kelsey and I'm here today to do my February TBR. Please ignore RM. He's just chilling and vibing up there, but he is on top of a very interesting stack of books for the month of February. Before we start with the physical books, I do just want to mention a vlog that will be coming up this month. This vlog has really changed because it used to include another book in this TBR, and it doesn't include that anymore because last night, basically to explain, every week before I watch The Last of Us, I watch an episode of House of Dragon because I did not watch it when those episodes were coming out. And so because of that, I have become insanely devoted to Game of Thrones again. This vlog has nothing to do with the fact that I am potentially rereading Game of Thrones this month with Haunani, Jolene, and Lucy. Unrelated. But it does have something to do with the fact that I became enamored, obsessed with Rhaenyra and Kristen. And I know what happens. You don't have to salt the wound deeper, but I'm obsessed with that trope. And so I decided for my Kelsey Reads romance vlog this month that I do every February, it'll be an exploration. I think that that is the trope for me. So you can expect that vlog. Like I mentioned, I will also be potentially reading Game of Thrones. Basically, I'll probably be listening to this on audio just so I can like refresh the memes when Lucy, Haunani, and Jolene are talking about them. I am a huge Game of Thrones fan. I've read the books multiple times. I've watched the series, at least the first couple of seasons, multiple times. Like I said, I'm watching House of Dragon now. I bought the Fire and Blood book for my birthday, so the vibes are with me this month for Game of Thrones. If you don't know what Game of Thrones is about, it essentially follows a king named King Baratheon whose hand, his like side assistant, passes away. And so Robert Baratheon travels to the north of their country land to see his friend Ned Stark, who he wants to ask to be the hand of the king. Initially, Ned is apprehensive of going to King's Landing and helping Robert Baratheon, but ends up doing so anyways while bringing along his two daughters, Sansa and Arya. The boys remain in the north with Ned Stark's wife, Catelyn, and obviously the story moves from there. I'm very excited to give this one a read. It's not my priority because I read Game of Thrones so much, but I would still like to reread it, and I've never listened to it on audio, so that's something that I'm super excited to do. Next, we'll move into the arcs I have to read this month. So the first one that I am currently reading is Vampire Weekend by Mike Chen. First of all, I love the pun of the book's title. I love Vampire Weekend as a band, and the name has a tie to our main character in the book named Louise Chow. Louise is, like the name of the book suggests, she is a vampire, and the positives that come with being a vampire is going to decades and decades of punk rock shows. One day, a long-lost teenage relative named Ian shows up at Louise's door, and whether it's his bad attitude or his love for music, Louise starts to see herself within him. And I am currently 53% in, and I can so far say that I am enjoying this book. The next arc I have is This One's For You by Kate Sweeney. The premise for this book sounds really, really cute. It follows two ex-best friends, Cass and Sid, who are on a life-changing road trip to follow along a band called the Darls, which is the last band that Cass's mom was in before she passed away. Obviously, I really enjoy books about music. As you could tell, I'm loving Vampire Weekend so far, and I think that This One's For You will be just as amazing. I'm interested to see obviously how the band aspects affects the two ex-best friends, how they became ex-best friends, obviously how they are going to get back together. Very excited for this one, and I hope it lives up to my expectations. Now we're going to remove RM and we're going to go over the other books that I'll be reading this month. The first of which is for the Kiss and Tell book club. This is a book club hosted by Jenny, Dorothy, and Zoe, along with myself, on reading romance books. I am a romance newbie. I consider myself still a newbie, but I don't really know a lot of tropes and stuff like that, but I am trying to catch up. And part of catching up is reading some TikTok romances, one of which is Zodiac Academy #1, The Awakening by Caroline Pickham and Susan Valenti. I know nothing, absolutely nothing about this book. I feel like it's gonna be so silly. Basically, it follows two girls who are Geminis, I guess, and they are heirs to a throne that they didn't really know anything about, and also they turn out to be fae. And of course, there's a catch. All they have to do is claim the birthright by proving that they are the most powerful supernatural creature in the whole of Solaria. And technically, it's true because they're also the daughter of the Savage King. But the bit that they didn't put in the brochure of the school was that every single fae in the kingdom would like to claim their throne if they could. I know nothing about this book. I'm hoping I love it. I want to love it unironically. I just want to read something addicting and fun, and part of that is this. I'm very, very excited for the live show. It'll definitely be the beginning of March. I will leave a link to our Discord in the description so that you can find out when exactly the live show will be, but I'm excited. I'm excited. After that, one of my audiobooks for the month is going to be Fight Club by Chuck Palahniuk, and the reason for this is because when I was in high school and I was a little bit of an edgelord, I loved Chuck Palahniuk. And over time, I have read more and more of his work, and I realized that a lot of his writing is shock factor stuff. And I swore off him for a really long time. I didn't want to read any more of his work. The last book I read, I thought was so gratuitous and unnecessary, really. And then one day I was talking with one of my IRL friends, and she was saying that she was interested to read more Chuck Palahniuk. I was saying I hate Chuck Palahniuk, and the conversation happened where we were now going to buddy read Fight Club. I've never read Fight Club despite my edgelord status. It was part of that edgelordiness because I was like, well, I'm not gonna read his most famous book. I'm obviously gonna read other books from him. And I've just never read this. I've seen some interesting discourse on this book online, so we'll see how it goes. Fight Club basically follows our narrator who is kind of enthralled in the life of this man named Tyler. Tyler hosts a secret after-hours boxing club that our unnamed narrator decides to attend. And then this is a glorious original work that exposes the darkness at the core of our modern world. I don't know what that means, but I'm excited to find out. Next, I am also working on a project this year to re-fall in love with YA. I have a lot of YA on my TBR that I have bought in the past, but lately I've been finding that every time I read a YA, it's just not doing it for me anymore. I really, really want to re-fall in love with YA as an age category. It's what got me into reading. I think there's brilliant and excellent stories in young adult, and I want to uplift them and showcase them, and that means reading more of these YA books. But like I said, I've been apprehensive because the last few YA books I have read have just felt lackluster to me. So we will be making amends of this year. The first YA book I would like to read this month is Slay by Brittany Morris. I bought this specifically because it follows a girl who is very into video games, and if you don't know this about me, I work in the video game industry, so I feel like this could be a shoe-in for a book that I will potentially enjoy in the YA category. So from what I understand, this book follows a young woman named Kira, who by day is just an average high school student, but by night she joins the millions of kids who enter the online role-playing game called Slay. Little does everybody around her know that Kira is the developer behind this multi-successful game. Things start to go downhill for Kira when a teen is murdered over disputes occurring within the game of Slay, and Kira is facing potentially being sued and also dealing with an online troll who is bent on ruining the game. I think this could be really fun. I think this could be really interesting. I know it'll tackle a lot of subjects, so I'm really, really keen to pick this up, and I hope it becomes a YA I fall in love with. I've also heard amazing things about Ray Bear by Jordan Ufeko, and I had picked it up years ago because of those amazing reviews, and I just really, really, really want to get into it because I absolutely love the cover, and I would love to love this book. So from what I remember, this book follows a young girl named Tarasai who has been raised in isolation by this figure called the Lady. When Tarasai comes of age, the lady sends her to the city in order to compete to be one of the crown prince's bodyguards. But the lady has other goals for Tarasai. Not only does she need to become one of the crown prince's 11 bodyguards, but also kill him once she gains his trust. This sounds really, really cool. Like I said, I've heard nothing but good things about this book, so I'm really looking forward to this. I think I could really, really like it. So I'm just hoping that both of these go really well this month. And finally, the last book I want to read is one of my highly anticipated books for the year. It's Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the Galaxy Stern series, which follows a young woman named Alex Stern who discovers that she kind of has these like ghostly powers and is able to connect with and talk to people that have passed on. When Yale gets word of her power, they kind of recruit her to the school so that she can uncover anything that the secret societies at Yale are hiding. I'm really looking forward to reading this. Ninth House was one of my favorite books the year it came out. I don't remember if that was 2019 or 2020, but I absolutely devoured that book. So I'm am really, really, really looking forward to reading this. Like, it is gorgeous. It is one of my highly anticipated reads for the year. And I'm really hoping I like it. I'm scared, but I'm hoping that I will love this. So that's it. Those are all of the books I would like to read this month. It's kind of a shorter TBR, but like I said, there are some books that I didn't mention here that I'm so excited to read. I might start one of them tonight, I don't know. But let me know how my TBR is. Are any of these books some of your favorites? Do you like them? Do you hate them? Please let me know down below in the comments. Of course, if you would like to follow my reading journey anywhere else, I do leave a link down below to my Twitter, Goodreads, and Instagram if you would like to follow me there. And because it is the end of the video, please do not forget to like, subscribe, and ring the notification bell. It does wonders for my channel. I tell you every time, and it makes me feel really good. And that's it. I never know how to end these things, so I will see you next time. Okay, bye.